Since we understood about a time complexity, now let's go and understand about the space complexity of an insertion sort algorithm. So when we computing the space complexity, we should not include the space allocated for an array A, right? So the array A is of length n, and it is already given us as an input, right? So that is already provided to us. Now the real question here is, in addition to that input array A, how much extra space are we creating, or are we using here? Now let's look at carefully, right? I created a variable j, right? We are creating a variable key, right? We are creating a variable I. So these are the three extra variable I just created. So total I created j, key, and I. So are we creating any other variables other than these three? No. So the array A is already given as an input, and we don't count it as its separate space. So apart from the input array, the only variables we are creating are j, key, and I. That's it, just three variables, right? Now notice something important here is, these three variables are independent of my value n here, right? Whether the length of an array n is 10 or 100 or 1000 or any other size. So how many extra variables are we creating? We are just creating only these three variables. So the number of extra variables does not increase as the input size increases, right? So now let me summarize both time and space complexity of an insertion sort algorithm. So as part of time complexity is concerned, the best case time complexity is an plus b, and the worst case time will be a dash n square plus b dash n plus c dash. So for part of space complexity concern, space complexity, we are just creating three additional variables here. So the amount of extra space we are using does not dependent on the value n here, right? And here this is the constant. In other words, I would say the space used by an algorithm is just a constant value. The space used by insertion sort algorithm is just a constant value. So it doesn't change the size of that array. It doesn't change with the size of an array. So the space complexity of the given algorithm is constant. Now we will stop here with respect to time and space complexity for now, but we will build on these ideas, right, in the next few videos. These are the key concepts. Remember, these points are carefully, we will use them to understand time and space complexity in much greater depth going forward, right?